Onyekpere is my name, Lead Director, Center for Social Justice. Well, it is very clear that something is definitely going wrong in the oil sector. There are reports that we are losing about 400,000 barrels of crude oil a day. And if you look at the price of crude oil in excess of $100, and then you multiply it by that sum, you will not talk about hundreds of millions of dollars being lost on a daily basis. And for a country that is almost bankrupt, borrowing to service debts, borrowing to pay salaries and overheads, and borrowing for capital expenditure, is a very big tragedy. It's a fiscal tragedy. It's something that is not expected to happen in a decent society where there is a democratic, so to say, a regime that claims to have been elected, a democratic regime. So it's a very sad situation. I think before we even talk about that contract, the challenge we have in Nigeria is that we are not a people with a good memory. And it's only recently that even the media and some CSOs have started following the budget and its implications. But some of us have been working in this area for upwards of 15, 20 years. Between 2010 and 2014, I recall vividly that the then NNPC, Minister of Petroleum Resources, had budgeted for what they call real on-time online monitoring of petroleum and gas installations. So monies were in the budget. We did a study on it where it was alleged then that they had a control room. They were going to equip a control room with technology and cameras, high precision cameras that will report to some computer networks that at any point anybody touched any of the major oil pipelines or gas installations, whether those that were laid under, the authorities will know and move quickly to catch the criminals. So those monies were budgeted between 2010 and 2014. Now the question, and at some point the then Permanent Secretary, Minister of Petroleum Resources, said that the work was almost 85 to 90% complete. So if that is so, how come we are still having breaches of these installations and pipelines and nobody is talking? And if you follow the arguments or the discussion, the minister, the NNPC managing director also came forward again that they are going to establish that online real-time monitoring of oil and gas installations. So that means the first vote, the first budgets, the first monies that were spent went to no issue. Another set of money is being asked for now, requested in terms of security. And on top of that, you are discussing again having somebody being given a contract. So Tompolo is a Nigerian citizen. So I don't have any specific thing as to why he should be given a contract or not. But the question is, was that contract advertised? Did he follow due process before they awarded it to him? Or are there special circumstances that made it like a special and restricted procedure through which he emerged? So if they follow the due process, if they follow the public procurement law, I have nothing about a particular individual, but the first question is he qualified? Did he meet the technical specifications? And how did they arrive at the contract price that was given to him? So if everything was done in accordance with due process, I have no objection to him being there. But I'm trying to remind Nigerians that money had been voted before, and money is still about being voted now for real-time online monitoring. Then when you leave that, before you even come back to Tompolo, you ask yourself, look at what you said that was caught in Equatorial Guinea or somewhere, a big ship. So when you hear about stealing of crude oil, we are not discussing some small players carrying jerry cans or drums. No, this is high-level stealing. You have ships in the high sea, and then you have people coming with smaller vessels and meeting them loading. It doesn't take, it's not just a day's business. It takes weeks, sometimes months before they could get filled up. Or even this one that was reported that it went to the official loading point, right? So that shows you the high level criminality, the high-level conspiracy. Now, have you sat back to think of it? I don't know why reporters or the media, with utmost respect, it's like you people are getting lazy. Who is the Minister of Petroleum Resources? No, we're interviewing, so it should be a dialogue. Who is the Minister of Petroleum Resources?
President Buhari.
Good. So, you understand that the president can appoint a minister to any sector. Ideally, if it was possible, he should be everywhere. But since it's not possible, he appoints assistants who are ministers and gets the National Assembly. So for that particular sector, he refused to appoint a substantive minister and puts it under him, under his own, he's holding the portfolio. The other one is a minister of state who reports to him. So officially the president is the minister. If something is happening wrong in a sector, who are we supposed to look at to blame? Who do we hold accountable in the first instance? Is it not the minister? Now, two issues are involved. The running of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. The second one is the issue of the armed forces. The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, civil defense. There's another one in Niger Delta. Another one that's relating to oil, navigation and oil. No, not civil defense. There's another one. I will remember the name. Okay? They're all there. This one that had a problem with LNG at some point in time about monies, cabotage monies they were supposed to pay. Now, all of them are all talking about what? Security. Who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and who do all the security agencies report to? Is Onyekpere who? Who do they report to? We're having a dialogue, my brother. Who did they report to? Good. So, by the assertion that I'm constructing a categorical syllogism, President Muhammadu Buhari is the Minister of Petroleum Resources, answerable for everything happening in the petroleum sector. And that sector, oil theft is happening right under his nose. President Muhammadu Buhari is also the person to which all the security forces that should be checking oil theft report. Therefore, oil is missing. Who should we ask? Who should we ask?
President.
So you can go back and report that. There's a petroleum minister. There's a commander-in-chief. Everybody reports to the commander-in-chief in terms of security. So if he's throwing science into the air, the Nigerians ought to ask him a question. He should tell us what is happening. He should tell us what is happening. Either he's grossly negligent or criminally negligent, or he knows what is happening. So as far as I'm concerned, all these discussions is just like doing an unnecessary dance. He has to explain to Nigerians what is happening. They know them, and they don't want to take action on them because you cannot expose anybody you do not know. It tallies with the what I call governance deficit and governance shakara that this administration has been doing. You recall there was a time they also threatened they were going to name those funding Boko Haram or the sponsors, meaning that they also know them because the government of I think UAE or so gave them a list and even prosecuted some Nigerians who they caught within their territory. Up till today, did they name anybody? So we are used to this kind of storytelling, but it also confirms that they know before you expose somebody, you must have known who they are.